I'm ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
ZoWilliams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening?
What?
It is another Monday, Hollywood, California.
There it is.
You heard her voice. She's finally made it back into the building
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
after an extended holiday break.
Shoot, I had to take a little, I had to take a vacation from vacations, you know what I'm saying? So,
Jeez, man. The voice of reason. If you're just tuning in and you don't know anything about this show, please understand. We're a little crazy. We're a little off. It's a relationship show. We deal with relationship topics, but we find a way to weave in all types of other things as well. But no topic is off limits. We will attack every topic in such a weird way. I mean, we got different people who come on the show, but back in the building is Whitney Tabor. Team Tabor has returned. We're happy to have her back.
yeah, man, I missed you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I showed up one week, nobody was even here. You didn't know that,
No,
did you?
I
On
didn't.
everything. I was like,
You're lying.
I swear.
What week was that?
It was right after. Hey, it was right after Christmas. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna go see. Let's go talk about something. Show up. Building is black. I'm like, okay. Well, I
You
didn't
must not have
didn't
heard.
check that email. So
Yeah.
it's cool. Missed you guys. I'm back in Hollywood. I just landed from Seattle. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little slow today.
It's all right.
I'm running like the Seahawks in the beginning of that game. Let me just tell you. But guess what? We won, so it don't matter. 1 point. I'll take it.
First off,
Nope.
you guys did,
Talk trash. Talk trash about
I'm
the
not
win.
gonna say anything.
You better
I'm
start. You better
I'm not
say it
gonna-
now.
I'm
so
not going to say anything.
Do it.
I
Please.
can't.
I need it.
All right, so we're waiting for Veronica Conway to join in the conversation. Today's topic is crazy. Let me just say this. You guys remember Friday's show? Remember that guy, Andrew, from Vegas? He called in, and his wife. And it inspired me to, do a topic surrounding kind of that energy. Because, listen, you guys remember the old Boy Scouts? You were a Boy Scout, weren't you?
Nah, this fool was a
You
Boy
see,
Scout.
John, before hip-hop
John-
happened to his ass, he was a Boy Scout.
Before John
He
got a
trying to
black
front.
girlfriend, he got one black girlfriend.
Eminem got me early. I was hit early by Eminem.
I bet you got all type of badges and shit, dude.
Yeah, he got the rap battle badge. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, we see you, John. It's cool. I was a brownie for 10 minutes. I didn't make it to Girl Scouts. I was like, Mom, I'm not selling. I didn't get no money from selling these cookies. This is not cool. I'm out.
My mom did put me in the choir, though, for a little
But
bit.
see,
That was like a week, though, and I was like, hell no, Mom. Hell no.
But the reason why I'm using the the Boy Scout metaphor, do you remember that every boy used to have one of those knives, those Swiss knives that had everything? It
Everything.
had a screwdriver, it had scissors, it had a toothpick, it had fucking everything. It had needle and thread, it had the whole get down, a fishing rod, everything. And the reason why I'm doing this show is because I believe that your relationships have to be a type of Swiss Army knife with different tools to deal with different issues that pops up. What if you marry somebody and they didn't really tell you the extent of the trauma they went through with an uncle or
Or a scout leader.
maybe right, or a scout leader for John, right?
That's fucked up.
Or maybe, there's an abandonment issue between a daughter and a father, and she, you're dating her best face, right? And you guys are getting married, and you're marrying her best face, her best foot forward, right? Or she puts it all out on the table and expects you to manage it and deal with it. It's like you need a Swiss Army knife to deal with all of the potential situations that arise.
Or you needed somebody to tag in. Maybe you do need two dudes. You need one to tag in when he can talk to you, girl, because I got to go.
Oh, God.
I didn't sign up for this. You're crazy. I got to go. But hey, John's here, and he's a scout leader, so he might be able to handle all this crazy you got coming with you.
You're a scout leader now, John. It's
I like
over.
it.
Finally been promoted.
Yep.
No. So today's topic, the relationship toolbox. What skills should a couple seek to acquire for a successful long-term relationship? Or should maybe one of the tools is throw away the belief that all good relationships last forever, or they should be long-term. Maybe they're just supposed to be short and sweet.
Yeah. You need to learn something right quick.
Gosh.
Take it and leave it, girl.
What if the new blade in the relationship Swiss Army knife is the pass? Hey, look, after 5 or 7 years, if the sex and the intimacy gets old, you get a pass. Don't end the relationship, but you get a pass to go out there and do that thing. And then come back. Stipulation is, don't bring nothing back. Don't bring no babies or no STDs or STIs. And we good.
That might work. That could work. 2016, that might be the way. The new wave of the future.
I'm just saying. What would you fill your relationship toolbox with in this new millennium? Veronica Conway, welcome to the show.
Hello, party people. Hello.
VC, what's happening?
What's up? What's up, baby?
Veronica.
Veronica.
I miss that Veronica voice, let me tell you.
I miss Team Saber too.
Ooh,
Hey.
there it is.
So let me ask, Veronica. We need a new type of relationship toolbox, and we need to fill it with something. You know, back in the day, something as simple as, hey, man, let me, because you'll hear some relationship specialists and clinicians saying, set an appointment, an actual calendar date to sit down and talk with, your significant other to address particular issues. But now, and I ain't gonna say just now, but I tend to see people dread having a sit-down conversation with their significant other. So can making an actual appointment with your partner be ruining your relationship?
I think it might be ruining it.
Ugh.
Can I say something? I think it might be ruining it for the simple fact that most of the people that I've encountered, or relationship-wise, if you give people too much time and they think they're in trouble, they're going to think up some extra stuff. If I let him know, we need to talk later, he's going to go, listen, I got a legit live story. I had a boyfriend. He cheated, but I told him, I said, he kept giving me you can call her, call the phone. I'm like, no, I trust you. It's cool. Then I found out he was playing me, so I said, nah, I'm going to call her. So when you get home, I'm calling that B word. So we called, right? He had changed the number and had one of his homegirls pretend to be the girl. You can't give people
genius.
See, it was smart, but I was smarter because I was like, you sleeping with a Spanish chick, but she sounds like a hood rat. So guess what? You ain't playing me, player. But anyway, like I feel like if you give people too much time, you're not gonna get the realest of the real.
Veronica?
I think, have experienced that what is needed is not necessarily appointments. I mean, if a couple is busy because they're doing big things, and sometimes you do have to schedule time. But I think that the thing that's the most important tool in the Swiss Army knife is presence. And so when you're fully present, you actually know when people are retreating. You know when there's fear. You know when there's disinterest or disdain. And so if you're present and not relating to the idea of the person, then you can actually calibrate along with them and locate them where they are. And I think that being honest about that is the most important thing, because it takes a real high level of awareness. Moment to moment to moment to moment, are you present? And then if you figure out that it's all gone left, then be present to that.
You know what's crazy? Because this topic was inspired by Andrew from Vegas. Andrew, if you're listening, I know you're listening. Call back in, because I felt like that brother needed an updated relationship toolbox, because his relationship Swiss Army knife was dull.
It was a little dull?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because we were dealing with an issue where religion played a part. Mm-hmm. And the outside or the third party of the council of the church, and they were weighing in on what should be happening in a relationship. And it's like he was stuck. And I was like, man, he needs tools.
Yeah.
And I think one of the tools, Veronica said, it was presence, but the other one is clarity. To be able to size the situation up for what it actually is, and not what you think it should be or ought to be or what you want it to be. You know what I mean? Right. Like vision should be one of the tools in that Swiss Army knife for a relationship.
And the thing about the vision, though, is I feel like people forget to communicate their vision. When it comes to marriage, we all don't have the same opinion as to what a man and like my relationship, my husband's supposed to be XYZ. Well, that's your vision, but you got to communicate that vision and see if it even lines up. I see a lot of people going through that where, well, I wanted a wife because I wanted someone cooking and doing this. Well, guess what? You picked one that don't know how to cook. So maybe you should have talked to her first about the expectations as far as the gender roles go. You feel me?
No, hey, that's
well, and
good.
I'm gonna take it one step further. I think that couples. I've facilitated a lot of couple relationships and coached them. I think that the people have to establish a common vision. In other words, it's like, what do you want to most see happen? What do you want to most see happen? How do we jointly get that vision together? And what do we need to let go of individually to make that joint thing happen? But nobody gets to leave their deepest needs on the table. See, to me, that's conscious relating. That's actually conscious connecting.
I mean, because I just felt like there was nowhere to go with homeboy last Friday. Like, you don't want to say live on the air, hey man, you need a divorce. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to instruct anybody to do that. Yeah. But if you're in a situation that is ideologically intransigent, right? Mm-hmm. Recalcitrant, like they just inflexible, obstinate. They're not changing. They're not going to go anywhere.
Stuck in their ways.
Like, I think one of the issues, man, is, man, like, who are you married to? Are you married to Jesus or Allah or whoever the belief is? Are you married to that, or are you married to me?
Yeah.
And when you, man, it's like when the Bible gets in between you and your significant other. And y'all got kids?
Yikes. That's crazy.
Like, how do you advise someone out of that? Because
you really can't, though. Like, I mean, you can, I mean, honestly, like, it's crazy. After my relationship ended, my divorce and all that, my girlfriends all came and was just like, girl, we knew you shouldn't have. I'm like, why didn't anybody say any of this before I jumped the broom or whatever? You feel me? Like, people just really need to talk more. Everybody, though, and that's the thing, is like, you might hurt somebody's feelings, but at the end of the day, that one word, even this, it's crazy that he's playing this song. This song is actually one of the reasons I left my husband.
What is this song?
It's called Runaway by Kanye. And literally Kanye is speaking directly to me in the song. And I'm like, man, if my friends would have said something, I probably would have saw this earlier. But they were all too scared to hurt my feelings. And after I said, why didn't you guys say something? We tell each other everything. Y'all didn't want to say something? Girl, we knew you weren't going to listen. I said, I might have, though. You feel me? You never know. It's just, you got to throw those subtle little hints in there in the little light conversation when you have them is the only way I think.
Wow. Veronica?
Yeah. Can I speak about when you're talking about the presence of God inside a true loving relationship, the presence of God is not external. The presence of God is internal to the relationship. So it's not about having something that's dictated outside of the relationship. If you are if you're in a twin flame situation, you share the same soul. So God's talking to both of you at the same time. It's intrinsic to the relationship. It's fundamentally healing. If there's an external God dictating something to you vis-a-vis an institution, that's not the same thing as love.
But that's what I'm.
It's not the same thing.
But again, the way relationships are designed, whether it's romantic, whether it's intimate, whether it's cultural, ideological, there's this sense of you complete me. I need you. And that is the script, right?
Yep.
So if that's the script, what Veronica just said is totally 180 degrees opposite of that. Because most people don't walk into the situation totally centered, totally aware, totally cognizant of pros and cons within their own character. Most people see a relationship with someone else as a life raft away from their internal issues.
Ooh, I believe that.
Most people see it that way.
I've seen it too. Really?
Well, easier to make. I mean, Andrew, if you're out there, what is the number they can call? John, I'm gonna ask you. You speaking to Mike, John?
I'd go with the 323-230-4445. 4445.
4445. Hey, get to your phone line. 4445.
So, John, they have a better chance of winning the lottery than getting the number right?
I mean, that's the one I'd go with. I mean, you could try 844-55-1 as well.
I mean, you get two
classic.
tries. At least.
Yeah, the classic. We got 2 tries.
You get 2 tries. That's better than me when I was trying to be a millionaire 2 days ago. What was that?
Well, now you can become a billionaire.
Well, don't try to call me.
So here's the number to dial because I want to hear you guys' opinion. I want to know what's in your relationship toolbox, but I also want to know what's missing. Call me right now, 323-230-4445. 323-230-4445. That's the number to dial. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I got that's missing from my relationship toolbox. Patience.
Ooh.
I am not a very patient person.
No, he is not, guys.
And I could be harsh than a motherfucker. Like, oh, you dumb. Like, if I get dumb on you,
yikes.
I'm going to be real disrespectful. That's what because I respect intelligence. And it's one of my weaknesses. I'm going to tell you, I'm missing another tool. Dumb is judgment. So I'm always kind of sizing you up, and it causes me to judge.
That's
right. I'll be like, oh, you stupid. Right? So,
pretty much. Pretty much. There it is.
Right?
Dang, you dumb, girl. How
dumb
you
is
get to
that?
be so dumb?
Right. And I'm just saying, well, if I deem you dumb, right or wrong, and I can be honest, I'm probably wrong more times than I'm right. But if I deem you dumb, it's almost like my respect level goes down.
So me and Zoe are team that as far as my toolbox, that is completely out of my toolbox. Apparently I am really judgmentally judgy. Apparently I'm super judgy, but I don't try to be judgy. I'm trying to boost you up. I'm trying to help you out. But I guess the way I come off, the way I say things sometimes comes off a little differently in my head than how they receive it. It might be because I'm a Virgo. Word is I'm a Virgo, and I tell you, you're an idiot when I think you're an idiot.
But when I get judgy, I don't want to fuck you either.
I want to rip your heart out.
I'll be like,
what if you're just honoring your standards?
That's what I'm saying.
What if you just get to honor your standards and choose who you want to fuck and don't fuck based on your own internal standards? We all get to have our standards.
Thank you.
The thing is when we get conflicted about honoring them, we get in trouble because we go, oh, the pussy's fine, but it's kind of dumb, so I don't really want to fuck with it. But maybe I should, right? It's like, be congruent about your standards.
But see, that's me though. I can't fuck a meaningless pussy.
Yeah. It's pointless. It don't.
That's just me. Like, I want, like, I'm not just, hey, pussy's on the menu.
You shouldn't.
I can't fuck a meaningless pussy.
You shouldn't.
Yeah. Dumb dick is not that fun either, guys. If you're out there, ladies, and you know what I'm talking about, and you had some dumb dick, call us. What is it? 323-230-4445.
4445.
Give us a call. I'm just saying, there's a lot of dumb dick out there. Let me tell you.
But you can't. A meaningless pussy, you can't give birth to anything viable. Meaning energetically, a meaningless pussy cannot give birth to the creation. They might be able to give birth to babies, but they can't. A pussy is supposed to give birth to the entire universe. So you can't seed anything into a meaningless pussy. It's barren.
Man, listen.
Barren bitches.
Isn't that crazy? But they have a barren spirit, but they could give birth to a child.
That's scary.
Is the child then barren as well?
Is the baby dumb too? I feel bad.
Oh, God.
No, dumb babies in 2016.
Aww.
Spiritual autism? Like,
this baby is dumb.
Babies.
Dang, man.
Is it spiritually autistic, baby?
See, look.
Oh, God.
You know what? You know what? I got something else missing is knowing when to. I feel like I need to cut the cord sooner. I give people too many, like, let me try again. Let me try. I believe.
But see, that's
man.
easy though.
Is that easy?
To do. Yeah. Because when people hang in there, they're not hanging in there for the person.
No, I'm hanging in for me, player.
Yeah, they're hanging in for what they want out of it.
I'm just gonna say I tried my hardest, so I'm gonna hang in for like 3 more months. If you don't get your shit together, I'm out. I feel that's fair.
Man,
I'm just saying.
That's fucking crazy.
I stayed for 4 more months because of Jesus.
But see, this is what I hate about women.
Jesus.
Ladies, call me right now. 323-230-4445. Let me tell you why. Women will be with you and would have broken up with you 6 to 8 months before they tell you. Yeah, but act as if everything is cool. Y'all niggas going to the movies together. Hey, what you want? You want some salt on your popcorn? You know what I'm saying? Y'all canoodling. Everything is cool. And then when she confirms in her spirit, it's abrupt. It's gone. Like, now.
It's so quick to switch. And let me tell you, some of what Zoe says makes sense, but realistically, let's just be real. I'm going to keep it real. Most women are just waiting for the satellite to set his shit up, and then they leave. Ooh, come on now. You know that's what chicks do. You know that's what they do. They're not sitting there waiting for the popcorn, kicking it, for the cuddling. No, they're literally like, okay, you know what?
Whitney just dropped bombs right now.
Side dude is kind of killing you right now. You feel me? His points average is getting higher than yours, and you on the bench, player. So let me get him started up and suited up, and it's a wrap. And that's literally, I've done it. I've switched my style up now. I'm a grown up, low key. But
low key.
But yeah, no, I did that.
Low key.
I'm a low key grown up. You feel me?
She's radio low key.
I'm the opposite. I
feel like when I was younger, that's what I would do. I wouldn't leave a relationship and the comfortability of that relationship until I had another one lined up.
But like a job.
Like a job. Oh, you know what?
Wow.
Now I'm like, I need time to heal, player.
Y'all motherfuckers out there getting played by these women. Speak on it. Speak on it, Veronica.
I put them on notice. I say, you know what? Here's what's up. I was a little bit insane before. I'm sane and clear now. Yep. I'm about to live my life in the way that I'm meant to live it. You get to choose what you want to do, but here's what I'm going to do. And so, therefore, they get to choose, right? And so I put them on notice up front. It's brutal. In the sense of it's brutal. It's emotionally brutal. It brings a lot of firepower of truth to the table. There's nothing that actually is quite like it to say, you know what? This is it.
But see, this is why I say just because you're dating Marilyn doesn't mean you're not married to the Munsters. Do you remember the character Marilyn on the Munsters? She was the only normal-looking one. The rest of the family was monsters.
Chick, the blonde chick?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The rest of them were monsters. Marilyn looked normal. Okay. But just because Marilyn looked normal doesn't mean she's not a part of the monsters.
She's a monster.
So when you date a woman, she might be well manicured, well kept, articulate, educated. And this is both ways. Man and dude and woman, right? But I like to get to know the family behind that person. Ooh. Because that'll give you an example. Like, you came from a litter of monsters.
Damn.
And you've just mastered the presentation.
Yeah, you slid by. Yeah. You got the D-. You just barely passed, girl.
But only in presentation.
Ooh.
But you still have what they have. Psychologically, emotionally, you're still a monster. This is crazy, man.
People don't understand that. Family is legit. Like, you don't need to know anything about that person. If you go kick it with their family one time, let me tell you, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little embarrassed about the dude I was marrying. I knew my parents. I just knew my brothers and my dad and everybody wouldn't approve. But I still was like, I'm doing this. I was 23. I was stupid. But we had family dinner. Grandma, my grandparents, my grandma cooked for everybody. So I invite his family to come through. My family is turned. Like, my family is pretty legit, live, all of us, wild. Like, imagine imagine a room full of me's.
Yeah.
It's a wrap, okay? Oh, yeah. It's always a good time with the Tabers. But my dad was like, yo, after family dinner with his family was kind of like, are you sure about this? Are you sure? Because they got to be part of us. And I don't know if they fit, I'm like, what? How do they not fit in with us? I mean, we're doing, we accept everybody, so I don't even know. But that family stuff is legit. You got to peep the family tree, let me tell you.
Hey, turn on the DJ's mic. I want him to direct everybody to him. His Instagram, his Twitter. Introduce yourself to the Voice of Reason family, bro.
What's going on, man? DJ Julian Ramirez.
Yeah.
Juliana Ramirez.
Love your beats, man.
Yes.
Julian Ramirez is
He's fitted, ladies. He got his Jordans on. Don't play him. I don't know if we got a girl, but look, I'm always trying to plug somebody.
He is the 9th cousin of the Hillside Strangler, Richard Ramirez.
Yeah.
Julian Ramirez, please follow him. We're about to take a quick break. Listen, get to your phone lines because I really want to deal with some of your issues. We want to see what's in your relationship toolbox and what's missing. Call us at 323-230-4445. We'll be back in 2.2, Voice of Reason. Ladies and gentlemen, the Voice of Reason has returned. Those are the sounds of Julian Ramirez.
Yeah.
The number one DJ for Telemundo. Telemundo!
Love his beat.
He's killing it though right now.
Definitely is.
I love it. Listen, we're talking about what's in your relationship toolbox today. And it's crazy because Twitter is on fire. We got some phone calls coming in as well. Let me just say this. That guy, Andrew, inspired me because
I need him to call. I wasn't here. I feel bad. I
oh,
feel like
man, it was crazy. Was it crazy, Veronica? It was crazy, right?
It was. It was devastating, actually.
Yeah, it was devastating. So my thing is this. Because I see things as a diamond, right? Everybody is multifaceted. Like, that's where a diamond gets its brilliance. They're all different facets, right? And people are like that. And our perspectives are like that. So if I'm in the situation that Andrew is in, where the church has this kind of hold on his wife and the relationship can't move forward or they can't do particular things because the church doesn't see it as cool, I start asking questions like, so because you, I guess, are now in relationship with Jesus, that relationship trumps ours. But does your relationship with Jesus kill your sex drive? Does it kill your attraction to other men? Because I've seen this happen. What I seem to see most of the time is that there are women out there who are attracted to the preacher. More attracted to the preacher because they believe he's closer to God than they are to their husbands. You feel me? Would you speaking to the mic, man?
Come on, John.
Metal soprano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't really touch on that Friday because I could tell the brother was hurting and I didn't want to go there.
But we going there today.
But sometimes these women lose attraction for their husband because they feel like getting some God rod might get them a little closer to God himself. They might be the next immaculate smashing session.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Right? Wow. No.
Women love power.
And that's my thing is it's crazy to me. What's crazy to me is I don't get, I guess, the rules. Like, I'm not as churchy as most people. I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not real churchy. So I don't get the where I thought being married was it. You get married and now you can have all the sex you want because we're good. We're under the little marriage blanket that says we're all getting into heaven because we're married first. What I don't know the rules, I guess. So any of you church ladies that like to get it poppin', give us a call. 323-230-4445.
4445. Veronica, speak to it before I go to the caller.
I just think that the way that the church has been positioned, especially in the black community, is they've made the pastor the husband.
Oh, he's Jordan.
The pastor is the husband.
The husband, yeah, because there's so many sisters that are missing men in our community. We've lost it to like absence or homosexuality or prison or death, and so if you're going to get control over the women, what do? You make a middleman between the black woman who is the most spiritual creature on earth. You make a rift between her and her man, and you put the pastor in the middle, so she's praying to that, not understanding that she's fundamentally God.
Gosh,
and that he's fundamentally God. And so you get these middlemen, and all kinds of hell can break loose.
Is it wrong to even ask that question? Which is better, ladies? Pastor dick or husband dick? Is pastor's dick an extension? This is going to come off real bad, but I got to say it. Is pastor's dick an extension of Jesus's dick?
I don't.
I'm sorry. I had to ask it.
Well,
I got a visual. I got Jesus dick visuals. I'm freaking out, man. That's weird. Go ahead, VC. I'm still freaking out.
I'm gonna answer that because I don't think that the thing is that most of the women. I mean, there are definitely some men pastors that fuck around with their flocks. I mean, that is as common as the day is long. And most of the women are left sexless in the church, right? It's like they just end up dedicating all of their energy, taking all their life force, pouring it into serving the church, pouring it into the community. But really, if you're going to activate black women, they have to be getting interacted with by powerful, spiritual, sexual gods.
Dick. They need to get dick down.
And they're not getting it there.
So I could see the pastor hustle right now for the fat wilder monkeys that are in the church that are sweating and just greasy, and I know they saying, sister, just hang in there and have faith.
He's coming for you, God.
He gonna come for you. God gonna send somebody for you.
He's blessing you with something better,
right.
girl.
You even excreting the olive oil I was gonna rub on you and anoint you with, but you make your own, so you're anointed, right? But I bet you what he says to the pretty young thing that's in church is different. Won't you come by my office on Wednesday?
And we can have
that is the day that no one is here, and I typically have my meetings. I think the hustle is a little different when they pretty.
Oh, definitely.
Come on, somebody speak to this. Y'all know what we talking about.
Pastor Pimpin' been pimping since been pimping. That's
what?
Like, I don't know. I just wanted to say. I just wanted to say Pastor Pimpin'. I just thought it was funny, but no, that's just weird and creepy to me. Like I've never been hit on by a priest or a pastor or anything like that. John has. Ooh, John's Catholic.
All right. No. I was working for a moving company.
This is about to be bad.
And we had to move it was a Ukrainian church in New York City.
Oh, God.
We had to move this guy.
Wait, first, how old were you?
This was like 2 years ago.
Ooh,
yeah.
Some weird shit.
He saw the little choir boy in you.
Yeah, he did.
Fucked up.
He was like, John, your slip is showing.
So we were like moving shit, and he was saying like, here, move it. We're gonna move this stuff over here, whatever. So then he just fucking
dropped some pencils and made you pick them up.
He was drunk as hell. He was drunk on.
You better not drink that Bill Cosby Kool-Aid.
So he like brought us all some wine, and we had I had like a sip of it, and it was strong as fuck. I was like, this guy's just pounding this.
That was a roofie.
So all of a sudden, like he starts like he went up to one of my boys. It was like me, and I got 2 of my friends on the job to help me move this shit. So So we're fucking moving the shit, and all of a sudden he like went behind one of my friends, and he was like, "Yo," he kind of tried to touch it, like grab him, kind of, and my friend just kind of moved away, and we looked, and he was hard.
Ew.
That's a real story. That's real shit.
So you got Jesus juice.
I didn't get touched, or and my friend didn't get touched either. But he like kind of came behind my friend, and my friend was like, "What the fuck is like?" Like we were like just standing there, and
this
he kind
guy
of
moves
snuck
every
behind
week.
him.
This guy is getting boys to move him every week.
Some Ukrainian church in the city. It was fucked up, and I got a ticket out there. I'm still kind of pissed about it. My dad's still pissed because he paid that ticket. It's fucked up with me.
Well,
but
be glad.
They told me to park the car there. I got a ticket.
Well,
so.
guess what? Be glad your friend didn't get raped. That's a good.
Yeah.
Think of the positives in the story.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing.
That's real.
Hey, listen. Let me go to the phone lines real quick. I mean,
yeah,
Jesus.
I'm stressed out.
Let's go to South Carolina. Line 3. Jeff, you're on the Voice of Reason. Holler at us, brother.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Yeah, what's happening?
What's up, Hefe?
Ain't nothing. I can't call it. But I just wanted to keep it brief. You know how I get down. But I think one thing though that we tend to forget is that like when some of the traditions that were made in the Bible, some of the more traditional followers or believers in church and stuff like that, they didn't have to deal with some of the factors that we have to deal with today. So like we're all connected sexually just because we all have Instagram followers and Twitter followers that like I think stuff like that makes it that much easier for trifling shit to go down in the church nowadays where it didn't before.
Give me an example though. Give me an example of that though. How does social media make it easier for some of the chicanery to go down in the church? I want to hear that. Connect the dots for me on that.
So like, where's before? Maybe if you went to church as a kid in I don't know the 70s, whenever there was no Twitter or there was no Instagram, so you would see somebody that you were attracted to in church, and it would just be that. Maybe after a while.
Oh, I see what you
Sunday
mean.
service. Yeah, but now it's like we're much more connected, so we can just get our little dirt off on the side, and like I don't know, we can do. I can dirty match you in this church, and then dirty match you in another church. Like, oh, you go to that church.
Right.
Like, I don't know. We're much more connected in that.
No, I see exactly what you're saying. The church used to be the internet.
Yeah.
Because what was cracking in the community, you could find out at the church.
BlackPeopleMeet.com.
Right. Typically, the church was the center of the community. It was a community center. It was a daycare. It was a school. It was all type. It was a meeting place. It was all types of things. It was a school. People, they would be teaching different classes out of the church. Now, all the stuff the church used to supply us with, we can get that on the internet. And like the brother said, I think a lot of times these congregations are floating around to different churches.
Mm-hmm. That's a cold
you feel
game.
Me? And then you can see what's happening on social media.
I was gonna say
you was at Faithful Central last week.
Mm-hmm. I saw you tagged in.
This week you over there with Bishop Blake and them
trying to get cool points and see people. I'm sorry, why are you in church with your Instagram on anyway? Like literally, well, I live in Hollywood and there's a church out here that's predominantly entertainment, black, people who are working in entertainment. And I went a couple times and I got really annoyed because everybody was still trying to talk about business. Let's work. This is not where I came to do this. You feel me? But this church got an Instagram. They got a live feed. My pastor, he's got an Instagram. I can see his great-granddaughter. Like, I don't need all of this. I just wanted to come see you on Sunday for like an hour and I'm out.
Listen, y'all saw the black church where they had the Christmas special and motherfuckers was on them little gliders. What are those little?
Shut up.
With the little hoverboards with the wheels.
Well, you didn't see the church with the old lady singing the Drake song, "What a Time to Be Alive." Why are you singing Drake and Future in the church?
Because that's where we live. That's where we live now. That's what this is.
There was another ratchet song they turned into a church song, and I think I passed out. The spirit hit me when I heard them singing Future. My grandma does not need to be dancing to Future in the church. I just can't.
Wow.
Granny, I love you.
This is crazy, man. People need relationship skills. Do you think the church is adequate to teach those skills?
I feel like the church is the church is using their power. They don't care about. A major key. They don't care about us winning. They don't want you to win. The church don't want you to win in 2016. They want to make money. And if DJ Khaled was here, he would tell you straight up.
Veronica?
Major key.
Yeah, so I think we have to understand just a little bit of the context of it. See, because when I got married, my husband at the time was a born again Christian, although he didn't tell me until after we were married.
Oh,
hella fucked up, right? So, but what did happen is because we were bickering out of the gate, right? I became born again as a way to meet him. And I began to have a lot of very powerful spiritual phenomena. And so I'll never be sorry for that. Here's what I will say. I think that the great trick that the church has played on people is that they understand that black people are fundamentally like screaming with spirit and soul. Like we're replete with it. And so if you're gonna control a people, then you have to do it through hijacking their spirit and their soul, right? So I think that a lot of the pastors that are operating today, not all of them, there are some enlightened pastors out there, but many of them don't even understand that that's the role that they're playing on the planet. So how can you be an effective relationship counselor if, in fact, your role as middleman to hijacking the black spirit,
Yikes.
the black soul, is how can you can't do both, right? Yeah. So I just think we have to understand the context of it.
But isn't it creepy and a red flag, a major red flag, when a preacher shows hella interest in your intimate goings on in your relationship? Like a preacher who is really hella interested in what's happening behind your wedding, your bedroom, your boudoir, the doors are there. To me, that's a red flag.
Preacher pervy, yeah, that's the worst.
Like, what did your wife, how does she like it? What's her favorite?
I mean, have you bent her over this way? Because I would love to,
what I want to do is I want to investigate the positions, because some of them positions is evil. You see?
So put one leg up over your shoulder.
Right. Now, how flexible are you? You understand? Yeah. Do you like missionary or do you like doggy style? Because dog is God backwards. So when you in the doggy position,
hilarious,
you can connect to God easier. Now, but when you on your back in missionary, technically you falling towards hell because you on your back. I'm just saying, like, when a motherfucking preacher is hella interested in what's going on in your bedroom, that's got to be a red flag.
Probably a red flag that he's smashing your wife and he just wants to one-up you. Maybe, guys, you need to pay more attention to the signs that are happening. That's what it sounds like to me. I would have been
I know preachers are doing the old side eye at the husband to the wife, like, you're with this guy?
Oh.
Listen, you could be my side chick and be doing 10 times better than being his main chick. What's going on?
Disrespect, and then turn around and say, brother.
All preachers.
Not all preachers. It's never all for any conversation.
I know some very powerful. I knew Miles Monroe before he passed. Right. That was a stomp down. That was a stomp down brother. There's Freddie Haynes down. There are some that are so fucking righteous, but they're also militant and they're also about economic power. In other words, Whitney was talking earlier about talking about business, a lot of the temples, the Jewish temples talk about, the synagogues talk about business. That's how they get business done, is through the church. And so I think the new modern preacher has to be about economics, because otherwise, it's just like if you have that much power, you can't. And I'm not talking about the prosperity gospel. I'm talking about black economic power. That's what the church should be dealing with as a thing at this time. So there are some that are very powerful and have a lot of integrity. I will say that.
Well, I mean, of course, Veronica, Miss Jesus. Of course, we're some but not all. We never speak in absolutes. We know there's some good churches out there, but there are some people out there because, like you said earlier, black people being so spirit-filled. I mean, it's really easy to take advantage of that situation. It's really easy to be like, I see your aura. God told me personally that I am to be the steward of that vulva. Now bring it here on Wednesday. Don't bring it on Sunday because everybody here. Bring it on Wednesday.
And come through the back door.
Listen, let's go to Dallas. Line 2. Aaron, you're on the Voice of Reason. Holler at us, man.
Hey, what's going on? It's Ron. What's going on, y'all?
Ron?
Hey, Ron.
Hey, what's up, Ron?
Hey, Ron.
Hey.
What's up, cousin?
Hey.
Hey, cool. What's happening?
I did.
Hey, man. I just got off work, and I didn't catch your show Friday, but I just listened to it now, the one that you had on Friday about the boy Andrew. And I really hope, man, send a prayer out to him and help him through that time of need, because he really needs some help, man. And as like you say, as black people, we have to get our relationships better before we can be able to take over the earth like we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But a quick story, man. A friend of mine, that's the same. We're talking about the whole religious and Jesus dick or whatever. There's a guy I know. He's the one who's religious and everything. He goes by the book, everything like that. But it's his wife who, she's tired of it. She wants to go out. She wants to go out more. She wants to drink. She wants to experiment with different things, and he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be the one who's into the church. And their marriage is suffering because of that. They're about to get a divorce and all these other things because of what he wants. He wants to be in the church like that, and his wife is tired. They've been married maybe 10, 11 years, and she's bored. She wants to do something else now.
Wow.
So it's real out here.
It's real out here. I keep trying to tell y'all. You cannot have listen, let me just say this. Your relationship with your expectations and ideas about relationship will last longer than your relationships.
Ooh, yeah.
Most people do not understand that.
That's crazy.
Right? They're going to last longer than your relationships. Why? Because people are always dreaming and evolving and changing and growing. And guess what? They're changing and growing and evolving at a different rate than you, even though you guys are in a relationship together. And then above and beyond that, they have free will.
There's so much fantasy in this
world.
So
you could be, this is what we're supposed to do, and this is what we're supposed to be about. And they could be off on their own mission that's totally 180 degrees opposite of you.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do to get them to get back on your... Sometimes the best thing you could do, here's a relationship tool for your toolbox.
Let's add it in there.
The best thing you could do, 2 words, fall back.
Fall back.
When you fall back, you create the space for them to expand outside of where they are currently. If you don't fall back, you pressed up against them, and then they're pushing back to you. There's no space for them to expand out of where they are.
That's real.
Because you're standing in the space.
Crazy.
Sometimes you just got to fall back.
Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
The I Ching calls it strategic withdrawal. I'm a big student of the I Ching, and the Chama taught me how to use that. And the reason that the Chama taught me how to use the I Ching as a spiritual tool, it's a 4,000-year-old oracle, right, that you can use for divination. And the reason that he taught me to use that is because when you begin to accumulate and aggregate a ton of spiritual power, you'll have so much stuff coming towards you. You have to have discernment beyond your own ego to make decisions, right? Because when you begin to really elevate your spiritual power, you become a magnet on the planet. All this shit starts to come into you, and you have to have a way to discern it, and you can't necessarily trust the part of your ego that's left. So I Ching talks about strategic withdrawal, not from the standpoint of I'm not talking to you.
No,
nigga.
I see what you're saying.
It's
not
more
estrangement.
Like, I'm gonna withdraw
Veronica,
and let you have your own conversation,
baby.
Yeah.
Let me just edge in here a little bit because I know you get passionate. I can feel you wagging over there. You're telling me it's not estrangement. There's a difference between strategic withdrawal and estrangement, correct?
Yes.
Tell me the difference between withdrawal, strategic withdrawal, and estrangement. Just tell me the difference.
So you do strategic withdrawal when the person's ego is in the way, or yours might be. Right. So when you go to the I Ching, it'll tell you what it is. So strategic withdrawal says there's ego present here. Nothing can be resolved because there's too many spiritual lawsuits happening. There's too much blame. There's too much ego. There's spiritual lawsuits. So withdraw.
Man.
And if it's the other person or if it's you, you have the silence to figure it out. Estrangement is more like, I'm just not going to talk to you, nigga.
Ego, entitlement. Yep.
Yeah.
I smoke a whole bag of that.
I like that.
I'm not sharing none of that spiritual blunt.
I'm going to hit up Veronica because I feel like I do a little bit of the, I ain't talking to you, nigga, get out of my face. I still got a little of that in my toolbox. Maybe we got to switch it up and strategically slide out them DMs.
I love it. Let's get this final caller in here for this section. Shawnee from New York, line 5.
Oh, Shawnee. We haven't heard from Shawnee in a minute.
Guys.
Hey,
what up, boot that?
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. I've been so busy with the work, but I made it tonight to hear you guys.
It's crazy, right?
And let me just say, as a woman who at one time, the whole church piece, listen, I've been to church. I was on the choir. I taught the kids Bible study. I was on the missionary board. I was supposed to at one time go to preach. So I understand very well the spot that Andrew's wife is in. And it's just, religion in and of itself is very brainwashing. But when you're a woman, then there's a whole different set of rules that they put on you. So it's kind of like, I need to be one particular way. I should be seen and not heard. I should be extremely docile. I should be, I should just cater to this man, right? And then when it comes to sexuality, I feel like it really does squash everything that's in us, all of our spirituality, our sexuality, everything that comes natural to us. I feel like religion really does put a damper on that because it makes you feel, listen, I've had some preachers say that oral sex is a sin between husband and wife. Because the Bible, quote unquote, tells you what every part of your body is made for.
Whoa. Hold on, Shawnee.
Yes.
Hold on. Let's
to
pump
the
your
knob.
brakes. Hold on. Pump your brakes. DJ, we need some gospel. Find some gospel real quick because niggas need to go to church right now. DJ, find some goddamn gospel. We gotta get a gospel record in here right now. Oral sex is evil. First off, what
with
verse?
Your husband.
I just want to know what verse.
The hell?
I don't know. I could tweet it to you because when I tell you I'm so far removed from that, I couldn't even. There was a point in time I could tell you in my sleep, but it's been about a good 10 years.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, because our Twitter fans are crazy. They will find the verse. Twitter. I'm at ZoWilliams. Whitney is
at Miss Tabor, MSTABER.
Veronica is
Veronica Conway.
Tweet us the verse that says cunnilingus and fellatio is evil.
No, it doesn't say in the Bible that's a sin, but the Bible does list what the body parts were made for, right? So they say because oral sex is not listed in the Bible as what the mouth was made for, then therefore there's certain acts that they consider on the line of bestiality, and
Okay,
they're
wait,
saying
hold on.
that that's not what you should do.
Shawnee.
Bestiality?
Shawnee, give me 30 seconds.
Hold on.
Let's bring
Yes.
Sister Shirley Caesar in here. She can clear this up for
Let's
us.
see.
Come on,
Let's turn
sister.
it up,
Turn her up.
We need him right now. I need him more than ever right now. I can't believe this.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Hallelujah. All right, I'm back.
I can speak in a real tongue if you need me to, but no. But it gets that serious. So you have these couples that go to these pastors, and they will tell them verbatim what they feel. Oh, the Lord has led me to guide over you and shepherd you, and this is what you should do, and you should be this way, and you should not do that. And so, listen, I think I did the whole church thing for about 15 years, and even though at one point I was really heavily into it, there was always something in my spirit that said this is just not right, and I had to talk myself into leaving, but then you go through the guilt phase. I'm going to go to hell if I dismiss God, or I can't leave the church because this is what's expected of me. And so it really is. Andrew's wife is really going to have to unlearn everything that she's learned, and that's very hard.
Would you say it's a type of brainwashing?
It absolutely is brainwashing. I mean, I think I walked out of the church when I was 29. I would say it took me to almost 35 to be completely comfortable in my sexuality, because even though I was gone, in the back of my mind, it's still like, well, I can't do this because it's not what God would want me to do, and I can't fornicate, or I can't have these feelings. And if I look at a man and I think he's attractive, then they say that you're coveting somebody else's husband, and just all these different crazy things that they teach you in church. It really does mess with you for years. Even if you leave, you carry that for years on end. When
Let me ask you a question.
So,
This is about to get real personal. Orgasms while in church versus the number of orgasms after you left. And are those orgasms after you left much more intense and better?
Much more intense. Do you know why? Because I've never been married, and probably somewhere in my psyche, the few times that I did, I think I was celibate for about almost 5 years when I was in church. Okay, so I did have sex. In the back of my mind, I would almost be repenting because I'm having sex, but this is while a man is inside of me. So of course I'm not focused. Wow. I'm not present.
And you're repellent.
Yeah, you can feel
You're
it.
pushing him out of you. Go deeper.
Well, yeah. So, I literally cried one time when I was engaging because I felt like I was literally hell. So this man is on top of me, and he's pumping his life away, poor thing. And I just felt so bad that I just cried. I'm like, oh, my God. And I'm almost literally in a state of prayer while having sex. But I know that I'm having sex, and I'm like, you heathen. So now I'm putting myself through it, as well as feeling like, okay, I'm going to go to hell because this is not what's expected of me as a woman. And again, it took me about a good 5 years to completely come out of that, even after I left the church.
You know what? You're saying something really heavy, and we try to keep it light here, but you know what? This is real. You are giving us a firsthand example of an experience where guilt can have intercourse. People don't, it's energy that we're fucking. It's energy that we're loving.
Absolutely.
And if you are engaged in sexual intercourse with guilt, with resentment, judgment, with unforgiveness. I'm telling you, you're in the process of not only, because remember, intercourse is for creation. You're actually creating this.
Right. Right. But the other thing to that too, Zoe, is many people that consider themselves Christians or saved or whatever, they're never going to look at it that way, because every church suggests to you that you don't create. You're just dumb, and God is there to do everything for you. So it almost, in a sense, allows you or brainwashes you to give up your power. It's like, I can do nothing. I can't create. I can't manifest. I can't do anything.
Right.
And so you will never come to the place in your mind that you feel like, okay, great, I can create. We do know that we are spiritual beings, but even with that, it's just like, okay, we're spiritual because we believe in God, who's a spirit, and that's the extent of it. So all of them and everything else, these Christians will never get into that, because that's kind of like going against God. It's kind of like you're making yourself a God, which we are gods, but they won't go with that either.
But is it going against God, or is it going against ignorant men who think they're in contact with God?
Ignorant men, but the way that you're taught in church, they will tell you that, like, you're going against God. You can't question. You can't do anything. It's just like you're just supposed to sit here and do nothing. You pray to God, you go home, and you go to work, and you go home. And if it doesn't happen, it wasn't in God's will. And if it does, it's because he wanted it to happen.
Wow. So God wanted it to happen. So God wants it to happen when these guys hit on women, and he also wants it to happen when the women who aren't so attractive get told to just wait on God, and you might not get what you want because it might not be destined for you to have.
Well, pretty much. Or if something does happen, they will say, oh, that was the devil. Or a big part of Christianity, too, is when certain, it might not necessarily be positive, they will say, oh, that was a curse on you because you were disobedient to God.
Are you telling me the church? Are you telling me the church and God hate sex and intimacy?
Well, it would appear to me they do. Yes, absolutely.
Listen,
meanwhile,
wait, ladies, I need you guys to hold on. I got to take a quick break. Shawnee, don't you go nowhere, dang it. Don't you leave me, girl.
I'm tuned in. I'm turning my stuff up. I'm listening to you,
We
girl.
about to take a break, but when we come back, we going to continue this in-depth expose on the preacher's nosy-ass penis in your relationship. We going to speak on it when we come back. The Voice of Reason, Hot Button Radio. Yeah, we in church right now.
The Church of Reason.
DJ Julian Ramirez.
Killing it.
I'm sorry.
Killing it.
Old school came out. I'm sorry. We're on the line with Veronica. We're on the line with Shawnee from New York.
Shawnee is...
And Shawnee is really dropping the jewel right now.
I can't even believe it.
You know, she's giving an insight into the mentality of this thing. I mean, let me just give you guys a quick breakdown. Last week, Friday, we had a brother named Andrew call in from Vegas. And he was serious and really calling out for help for his relationship with his wife. Now, haven't had sex in a couple years or a year and some change. And he was like, man, part of that is because, you know, the church and everybody's got so much input on the relationship on her side. And he's frustrated. He's struggling, trying to cope and maintain with the woman that he clearly loves, right? So I decided to craft a topic around that, because whenever you get into these little areas of relationships are like quicksand. Like you get stuck in these little zones and it's like, oh God, I can't even finish the sentence because that's how you feel. Like I can't, okay, what am I supposed to? Okay, you don't have the tools necessary. So I said, we need to do a show called the Relationship Toolbox where we can analyze what tools we have versus what tools we need in relationship. And then Shawnee called in to expound on the church experience, on the church side of the game.
Crazy.
And they can really, listen, a pastor is no different than a bad mama.
Ooh-wee.
Listen, nobody can hurt you worse than a bad mama, and a pastor is number 2. Because those are people you let closer than anybody. Like, a mama can really hurt a kid if she's a bad mama. You know, she can really ruin a kid for life. You got successful motherfuckers in the world that, you know, God damn, my mama. You still got mama issues. And mama issues are a little bit different than daddy issues.
Yeah.
With a daddy, motherfuckers want to just go beat daddy's ass. When I see daddy, I'm going to put my hands on, I'm going to whoop daddy's ass. Now I'm big now, daddy.
Yeah, or they get on the pole.
Right. But with mom, there's a whole nother energetic thing going on. It's a little different. It's subtle. For the girl, she might get on the pole, for sure. For sure. Hey, somebody's calling us. I need you to get that line for us, brother.
I need you to get the
That's
line.
crazy, though. Shawnee, before we went to break, you were just talking about the psyche and the mentality, right? Of how the church can just get involved and really just muck up your relationship. What gives the pastor the authority to think he can advise and guide, you know, a person's relationship? Are they certified psychologists, psychiatrists, clinicians? Are they certified in that area?
Many of them are not, but the way church culture is set up, I'm no longer in that, but parishioners treat pastors as if they are God, right? So they put them on this huge pedestal, and it's kind of like everything this man says is completely right because they look up to that person as if they can do no wrong. Like, they're just faithful. It almost seems like they're not faithful to God. They're faithful to the pastor, right? So whatever the pastor says, okay, that's it. And secretly, many women want the pastor anyway.
I was about to ask you, what is the relationship of the women in these situations to the pastor? They got to find him attractive, right?
Well, of course. But the thing with that is that if you're a person that church a lot and you're devout, it's almost like a title that's glamorized. You know, he gets up there, he has all this power, quote unquote, because in the church he does, and he gets all this attention. And women, we're pretty much attracted to men that command a certain presence, right? So if you have this pastor that's coming up and preaching Sunday after Sunday and quote unquote saving lives, and he's flashy and he dresses nice, and the church is big and he has a nice car, or whatever, he has the Holy Ghost and he's speaking in tongues and all these things that we consider dynamic in the church, right? Then that a lot of women are drawn to that. And trust me, the pastors have their fill with the women in the church as well. I mean, I know pastors that get blowjobs in cars outside of the church. Okay, hello.
Hallelujah. Excuse me. Right.
So it really is a mess. And I feel like a lot of pastors, not all, because you do have some pastors that are really sincere in their belief and they really do try to make a difference. But really, let's be honest, church is a big business now. It's all about who has the biggest church, who can drive the Bentley, who has spurs, and these are men. And not only gay men, straight men too. So it's just like a big competition. My choir is better than yours. They preaching about a whole bunch of different things on the pulpit, but secretly they're living them. So it's just a lot going on. It's a lot. I mean, it even goes, I have a girlfriend, getting back to pastors' influence on relationships. A lot of people in the church get married, number one, because they're forced to. It's kind of like you're not going to do all this dating because you're going to fornicate, so get married. I had a girlfriend that I grew up with that got married at 21 because they didn't want them to continue dating and fornicating. They got married at 21. They split up by 25. She went to get a divorce, and she went to go speak to her pastor. The man died a few years back. I'm 41. She's 2 years younger than me. He would never speak to her because she got divorced, and he said that she committed a huge sin. Like, that's how crazy it gets.
Wow. Let me ask you a question.
She carried that with her for years.
Does anybody know the verse? I keep asking this. If you're listening to the show right now, tweet me the verse that says we are not supposed to have oral sex, and tweet me the verse.
It's not in there.
It's not in there? Okay, so
It's not in there, but the thing is, they manipulate teachers all the time.
So let me just say this. You know what that manipulation is called, right? In on the theological side of the game, it's called exegesis. And exegesis it just means I get to make what this mean what I want it to mean. That's all that is. It's exegesis. I get to expound and expand on something that I really don't have any knowledge of. And there's a technical word for it. I mean, an exegesis is right underneath hermeneutics, where it's apologizing and justifying and rationalizing some shit they don't even really understand. So I'm going to say this right off the top. Pastor, if you don't speak ancient Aramic, if you don't speak Greek, if you don't speak Arabic, Aramic, if you don't speak the ancient languages that the original scripts were written in, I'm not fucking with you.
Nah, player.
I can't fuck with you.
Nope.
Because if you're going to impress me with the ancient understanding of the information and not the new translation or the new transliteration.
But though you have to realize you're saying that as a person who's conscious and fully aware. Most people in church, they've either been raised in church or they walked into a church and they decided to become a parishioner and go. But it's already an underlying rule that when you walk into a church and you decide for whoever to be your pastor, whatever they say goes. So the intellectual aspect of it and all of that, they're not with it like that because it's kind of like, this man is now my God.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Shawnee. Hold on, Shawnee.
Yes.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You done already told me the church hates sex. Now you're telling me the church hates intellect?
No, they don't. No, I'm not saying they don't mind if you're smart. You just don't question what the pastor is saying because he is bringing the message to you that God is giving him. So if you question him, it's almost like you're questioning God.
But that is the essence of intelligence, is to question.
I know that, but there is a rule in church. You don't, and preachers will say it all the time. You don't question God. You just accept what's done.
Wait a minute.
Say it Sunday after Sunday.
Hell no. Hell to the no. I'm going to say, I question God because God knows everything. I'm not supposed to question you because you don't know shit. There's a difference. You see, that to me, that is obvious. You put the caveat of don't question God to the parishioners because you know as a pastor, you don't know everything. But God is all-knowing. It's an oxymoron to say don't question God when God is all-knowing. What you're really saying is don't question me.
I don't even know.
Because I don't know.
He don't know.
He ain't even knowing. He ain't even knowing.
He ain't even know. Man.
Does that make sense, though, Shawnee?
Hello, it makes sense to me, and that was one of the things that really made me say,
nope,
you have got to be kidding. So this is a spirit or a man, however you want to look at it, that I'm supposed to pray to, that I'm supposed to go to for everything. He's supposed to be able to allow me to do all things and all that good stuff, and I can't ask him a question, but I'm supposed to call him Father?
Nah.
So that really, for me, was the thing that made me say, okay, something's not right in the milk. And it just, but like I said, even when I was heavily into the church, there was just always something in me that was just like, this is not it. But, you know, you keep going with it because, of course, you're brainwashed to a degree, so you keep it moving.
Wow. Listen, Shawnee, I love you.
Shawnee killed
Thank
it.
you for calling and just...
I'm mind blown still.
Just
thank you, Shawnee.
Pepper jack sauce and all over this topic. We love it, man.
Wow.
Bye.
Call me anytime, boo thang, and we can extend that orgasm streak if you like.
Are you trying to preacher creep on her or not?
No, she's outside of the church now.
No,
it's all good now.
There it is. There it is.
Hey.
Watch out now.
Oh, wow, that was heavy.
I can't believe they said you can't have oral sex. Well,
Shawnee's conversation just opened up a whole nother door. Listen,
crazy.
If you don't have critical thinking in your relationship toolbox, y'all motherfuckers is in trouble. If emotions, fear, and ego are making the decisions in your relationship, y'all in trouble. If critical thinking is not a part of your relationship Swiss Army knife,
you in trouble.
Y'all can't even cut butter. Oh, God. We got more callers. Let's get them in here. Maureen from Virginia, line 2. You're on the Voice of Reason. Holler at us. Maureen.
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 Where's she from?
VA. What up, Maureen?
I want to know. She's from Virginia. She probably got some good church stories from down them good old church Southern gals.
She's not here. We don't have her.
Maureen,
call us back. We're not connecting with you right now. Please call us back. Let's get Jim from L.A. He's on line 3. Jim.
Whoa, what up?
Yo,
bro?
Jim.
What's happening, Jim?
Man, was just about to get in the shower and roll something, but I was like, let me go ahead and chime in on this here topic.
Speak on it, pimp.
Man, what it is, well, between the whole church and sexuality and, you know, it's so many things that the church just gives this broad stroke answer on. Like, you never leave out of there with any real conclusion. You know, when it comes to relationships, it's pretty cut and dry. You know, it's something done between, it's an understanding, it's a contract, whether it be, you know, at a courthouse or just in y'all's bedroom. Like, that sexual intercourse is a covenant. You know, it's a promise between y'all two. And it's, if you put the church in it or spirituality, God is now involved. I'm not a religious person. You know, I was raised Christian. I grew up, you know, in LA, going to the mosque and going to church. So I got a bit of a broader understanding, you know. But
speak on it. We listening. You got the floor right now, pimp.
I mean, essentially, what that did for me was that gave me, I guess, more of a moral compass and foundation, you know, so that there is no factor of cheating or going outside of my marriage or my relationship or my circumstance. It's only, you know, the understandings I have between that woman, you know, and whatever we don't have within that, then, you know, we're going to have to communicate and, you know, see if we can develop that. If I see something else that catches my eye that I might like and I might think she's pretty, I got a challenge question for most people out there, and that's this. Can you really say, men, can you really say in front of your lady that, you know, this woman is pretty or this woman has a nice, you know, rear end on her or, you know, whatever, you know, without that discomfort? Do you really have freedom of speech even in your relationship? These are grown adults that don't even have basic constitutional rights. You can't even say that.
You don't have the constitutional. You don't have the First Amendment in your relationship. Damn.
That's a rough.
Fuck.
You know,
I'm not into that.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
That is brilliant.
I got all my rights intact though in my house. So we both do it.
I got a Negro constitution.
That's righteous.
Hey, man. Hey, I love that question you posed. Thank you, brother.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Damn, I appreciate that, man.
That circles back to honesty, man. Like, you know, are we really, you know, in the best relationships, are we really living a lie or are we keeping it real for real? You know what I mean? If I can't say, you know, wow, you know, she got a nice little ass on her, you know what I'm saying? If I can't say that to my lady, we ain't got no relationship. You know, I'm keeping things from you now. You know, I'm not sharing my true thoughts and true feelings.
Y'all don't even
I want her to be able to do it vice versa.
You know what? Let me just say this, Jim. You just added another tool to the relationship Swiss Army knife. The First Amendment must be present in your relationships.
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you for reaching out. Listen, if you've got a tool for the relationship Swiss Army knife, call us right now at 323-230-4445. I just have to say it.
4445.
4445, right? We need, or you could tweet me and I'll read them out. I'll read them too, but I'd love to hear your voice. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. What about this as a tool? Steve Harvey speaks of it all the time. The 90-day rule before sex. Now, I did an event. I did Steve Harvey's camp where he sent us all down there to, you know, mentor some young boys that are in single parent situations, tough situations. It was a dope event. And I was on stage with the movie producer brother, Devon Franklin, who's married to Megan Good.
Oh, he's a pastor.
Yeah, he's a pastor. They got a book out called The Wait.
I saw, yeah.
Is waiting, right, a tool? Steve Harvey says 90 days, 3 months. I haven't read their book yet, but they're considering it a practice, something you should practice, withholding sex while you're getting to know someone. Now, my question is, somebody call me right now, 323-230-4445. Are you telling me that waiting is a better way to discern and ascertain who this person is than sex is?
No.
Or can sex tell you more about a person? And I'm just speaking energetically, spiritually, all of that. Can sex with someone tell you more about a person than actually waiting and listening to their script, their dialogue? Veronica, then Whitney.
Yeah, I'm going to say for women, it's different because for women, we take the man into our bodies. And I'm as sexual as the next woman, or more probably, because I'm free about it. But we take the man into our bodies, his energy into our bodies, and we'll get it all conflated and discombobulated, right? And we'll think that because we've interacted with him and his body's in us, it means love. So I think that I'm about answering the call to sexuality if it's present. And I think women have to discern who he is and what his consciousness is before she engages, because you can get hooked up with a dumb motherfucker that's got no consciousness, and then he's feeding you with that, and it becomes sort of this a spiritual wash in your body, and so you have to sort of, I think you've got to be discerning about that. Like, is he quality to be in my body and all his consciousness? If I'm going to give birth to his consciousness,
but can you know that?
Yes.
By having a conversation.
You must know that. You must know that. You must know that.
No. I'm not disagreeing.
A world of hurt.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, the average woman is disconnected from her intuitive process.
Right. I'm saying decide.
So she can't really know until he's in her.
No.
Oh, help us understand.
Backwards. So you, it's if you are disconnected from your intuition, then it's even more important to observe his patterns and observe his consciousness and observe his thing. Anybody can stop and observe. And be present.
So you're asking.
Anybody can.
You're asking an inherently emotional and irascible being to be objective.
She wouldn't be so emotional and irrational if she wasn't taking dysfunctional male energy into her system.
But is that her fault or his fault before they have sex?
What I'm saying is that she should have the discernment and the standards to observe him in his natural habitat. She should observe him before she lets him into her body. That's her. I'm saying that is her responsibility and her choice. And I'm all about letting my vagina choose, but my vagina is actually more intelligent if I actually listen to all of it.
Wow. Miss Lips just tweeted.
Yes, what did she say?
She says you have to hit and swallow his sperm for a more for a deeper connection. Whitney?
I don't know about that. I'm not.
Get it, Whitney?
My thing for real, like the waiting thing. Here's my thing though. I don't think when you give niggas is out here lying, ladies, and you all know it. They're gonna tell you everything you want to hear until you give them the pussy. So you might as well, like what Veronica said though, because I'm kind of like teeter-tottering on both of y'all's. You got to know exactly who this guy is a little bit. Like, don't just be like, hey, this random Joe I've met at Trader Joe's. Let's go smash it out and figure it out. I'm not going to swallow this guy's baby juice. But literally, like, but the 90-day rule, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit here because he's going to act like he goes to church and he washes walks his dog every day and he reads the newspaper and he's, oh man, I'm going to marry this man. So let me just do any and everything that he says because he's playing you for 90 days. But if you wait 30 days and you still think he's a cool person and you feel the natural need, because we women, we have needs, and I'm sorry, we want to have sex more than dudes even know. Just have some sex, man.
So let me ask Whitney. Phone is ringing, bro. Yo.
Phone is ringing, bro.
Let me ask Whitney and Veronica and all of the ladies out here that are.
Oh, hey, ladies.
Let me just ask. Wouldn't it be easier to just fuck day one and get it out of the way? Have safe sex,
okay,
but just get it out of the way. Get it off the table.
I mean, if you meet somebody that's you have that sexual connect, like there's been about 2 people that I've met that I'm like, oh, yep.
Because we've turned sex into this monstrous thing.
Yeah, it's
right.
And it's so funny because I used to be super prude. I married the 3rd dude I ever had sex with. I was like, oh my gosh, don't drop the dime. I had all these cool little sayings. My cousins and everybody told me, don't you do it, you know. And then I had a conversation when I moved out to LA with this grown woman. She was like a maternal, I went to her for advice. She said, girl, I don't even know my number. Do what you want. Do what your body feel like Veronica says. Do what your body naturally wants to do, but just be safe about it. Man, I've been kidding.
Right, because I don't think you can sit there and say, well, women are these crazy, irascible monsters because of the dudes they've let into them. It is a dyadic process. We ain't shit, but you let us in. So you're as culpable.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So don't. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Don't.
So I think, because I was going to say this before I asked that question, I think when you said refrain, I think that's a tool we now add to the relationship Swiss Army knife.
Can I give some context to that?
Yes.
Too?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not refrain out of some arbitrary rule like 90 days. It's having enough consciousness to discern where the person's at. Listen, let me tell you something. When I up-leveled the energy of the sex I was having, and when I began to engage with the chama, and very, very extremely high-caliber men, not a bunch of them, just a few of them, then all the other Negroes wasn't trying to really step to me that hard because they could actually sense in the energy on me, but they wouldn't even approach. So I'm saying when you raise your standards, it actually puts you out of harm's way.
But it's not really, I want us to be careful. It's not really a standard.
The preference, what do you want?
It's more of it's more of a plane of consciousness. It's more because if you say it's a standard, then people think it's some type of lofty ideal, and you can't date your ideals when you're dealing with the real.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a woman having enough, paying attention. Listen, we are given everything that we need to have to discern who is for us and who is not.
Yes.
If we would listen. And so it's everybody's responsibility to listen. And so, therefore, when we listen, then there are no casualties and there are no victims. Because if we're actually listening to the God part of ourselves that understands who's running on some bullshit and who's running on some God force, if we actually listen deeply enough, you don't need 90 days to figure that out. If you begin to calibrate that instrument as a man or a woman, you get to experience what you're meant to experience here.
But see, this is right, and I agree with you. And I was just pushing you to frame it differently, because one thing when it comes to relationship, people are really dumb, right?
Yep.
And that stupidity makes people say, "Hey, what's the number one thing you need for a successful relationship?" Right off the top, almost like hitting their knee, the reflex is good communication. But communication has levels, and there are layers and levels to all of these answers, and I want us to be able to frame it up in such a way that it makes a grander impact than just saying the old cliche, we need to talk more. Well, it's how you talk. It's identifying your communication style versus your partner. Are those communication styles compatible? Or have you done enough self-work? Have you never done enough internal kind of excavation of all of the bullshit you've been through before you seek a partner out to try to, be intimate with or relate to, right? Or is your trauma relating to their trauma?
Or are they even smart enough to receive what you're saying, man?
You see what I'm saying?
Woo.
A lot of times people opt for what feels good as opposed to what is actually good for them. And in the same metaphor as fucking vegetables, nobody wants to go raw in terms of eating just raw, uncooked vegetables. But if you did that for a year, you'd see your body would change in such a dramatic way that you'd be healthy than a motherfucker, right? But guess what? It's easier to feel good with a plate of soul food. You do the same thing in relationships. This is why crazy pussy is the best pussy. And even though crazy pussy is crazy, it doesn't stop niggas from enjoying it. It's crazy pussy is like the fugu of pussy.
The fubu?
Fugu.
Oh, I don't.
You know that little poisonous fish?
Nah.
Fugu. Okay, Jesus.
I'm learning some stuff.
All right, here we go.
Shout out to Zoe.
Shout out to Jesus.
This nigga said fubu. I'm like, okay, I actually like fubu, sir.
Fugu.
Hilarious.
Man.
Fugu.
Hey.
Fugu, all the same thing.
shit.
Oh,
Yes.
my God. Whitney is back and in rare wildness.
Hey,
Oh,
girl.
yeah.
Let's get line 2 on the line. We got Red from Missouri. Red from the Show Me State, Missouri. Holler at us, Pimp.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. I think knowledge of self is probably, in my personal opinion, it's the most important thing when you're talking about relationships. Because once you raise your own personal vibration or your own energy, everything and anything will just be drawn to you. And at the same time, you've cleared yourself enough to know, and you can actually discern what's good and what's bad for you. A lot of times people just do whatever, like you said, you just said it though. They'll eat soul food instead of eating raw vegetables, knowing that there's an impact that is immediate to what you're eating. So when you talk about crazy pussy, that's soul food. It might be good at the time, but you're going to have to deal with the consequences of eating that for over a long period of time.
Right, I got relationship hypertension right now. Go ahead, finish, Pimp.
Well, it's really simple. It seems complicated because we let all these outside forces come in. If you know yourself, all those good things, those qualities that you really want in a particular person, they'll come to you. They'll come to you in waves. Like I have to literally push certain people away. I'm like, no, because I can sense the crazy in them. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want a real relationship with somebody who understands you, gets you, feels you, and gives you that light that you've been putting out there? So you're drawn to it.
Hey,
so just remember.
Let me just say this, brother. You just gave it to us. Knowledge of self has to be in the relationship Swiss Army knife. Right?
Right. All day, every day in America.
Every day in America, Pimp. This dude Red call in here and smack people around every week.
Man,
it's all
Red.
good.
I like Red,
it's all good. Stay violent with the spiritual knowledge. Keep smacking niggas in the mouth.
Just popping people. Just what? I didn't even know what was happening. I just came
Appreciate you, brother.
I just wanted some soul food. He just slapped me in my face.
No, it's real. Who else got some relationship tools? Right? This is the Relationship Toolbox Show or the Relationship Swiss Army Knife. You need these tools. I would be interested to see if somebody listens back to this show and lists all of the tools that were laid out. I think that would be interesting. Let's get Frank from Atlanta, line 5. You're on the Voice of Reason, Hot Button Radio. Holler at us.
What's up, Zoe? How you doing, ladies?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, I think you need to put letting your guard down into the toolbox. I don't know if anybody's ever covered that already.
Vulnerability.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Vulnerability, because I feel like, so many people are attached to end results in the first meeting of a person. They block their natural match. You know what I mean? Like, so many times you in the street and you experience professional rejectors. You know what I mean? I've built up a tough skin to that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
A bunch of FUBU poom pooms, right, Whitney?
Hey, there it is.
Hey, man. Fugu. You got to be careful. That shit got poison in it now.
Yeah. So, no.
Yikes.
Yeah. But I think you have to have that type of openness to really experience what you don't. I mean, because I see a lot of people who are pushing away their soulmate. I mean, I got a homeboy right now. He's got a great girl at home, but he's out in the street constant. And a lot of them are attracted to his situation, or so they perceive. He puts on the outside of appearance of a successful man, but he's been unemployed since February.
Wow.
So what are they attracted to that is above and beyond? Is it him being attached? Is it the appearance of success?
It could just be the energy.
Or the dick. Let's just be honest.
It could be that. But see, dick is nothing without the energy behind it.
No, I know that, but hood niggas, you guys said crazy bitches got the best pussy. Well, guess what? Hood dudes with no jobs and 15 baby mamas and 12 kids, they have the best dick.
Now.
Okay?
I'm about to fall down. Whitney is in here turned up right now.
I'm just being real. Word on the street.
He's come to a point now where
word
he's
on the street.
unfulfilled, though.
Well, that's
he's
word on
come
the street.
to a point now where he's unfulfilled. He doesn't feel anything from his girl, and he doesn't feel anything from the millions of joints in the street.
Can I just one thing that people need to add to their toolbox from?
Hey, thanks for the call, Frank.
Yep, from Frank's story is letting shit go. Why? Like he's sleeping around with your cousin and 3 other hoes
First
down
off,
the street.
when you dickmatized,
Don't you
because
dickmatize?
I've used my dick as a pendulum. It gets hard, and then I swing it in front of their face.
I hate
like a metronome.
I'm gonna punch them. Is there something to throw?
And they just fall out
like little cats, like a cat with a laser. They're like following it.
There it is.
What's happening?
Go on to sleep, girl. You look right into that one little eye that's looking back at you. You go on to sleep now. It works every time.
Man, that's what I have yet to be dickmatized. I guess that cold. The dickmatization in 2015 was not as strong. No one. They try to trap me all the time. Don't play yourself.
Hey,
don't play yourself.
You pick wisely. You
dropping, yeah.
You like a boxer. You pick the easy fights.
I'm bobbing and weaving. Whoa, lame niggas. Whoa,
you ducking me, Whitney?
Whoa, lame niggas over here. We gotta
ducking.
Woo.
All right, we got this guy on the line. He finally called in.
Ooh.
Andrew from Vegas.
Oh, cool.
Has returned to the voice of reason. Our final call. Make it quick, Drew. What's happening, man?
How's it going, Zo?
Man, this whole show is dedicated to you. I don't know if you were listening, but we were talking.
Yeah, I was listening for an hour. I was listening for about an hour. I was listening to some kids.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Having sex on the first date is like opening up Pandora's box. You don't know what's going to come out until you open it. Having a connection, when you have that connection with your partner or whatever, you create that what you call energy, that aura around you, and what you transition between you two, depending upon what's coming out. Are you lovers or are you sex partners? Do you just want the sex to be what it is? You just want to have some good dick ladies, or you want to have a good man? That's all that's all up to you.
We're having technical difficulties with Andrew.
Dang, I know. I was really trying to hear. I couldn't hear.
Jeez. Let me just listen. He said something in the beginning of that statement. Let me just say. if you're having sex with somebody in the beginning, it doesn't matter what you want in the end. You're having sex in the beginning. It doesn't matter. Right? So many people, are we sex partners? We're obviously sex partners
just had sex.
off top.
Hey.
Right. That's out the way. Jeez. It's such a fucking
It's people think too much. Stop
extra
thinking.
on that. Like, oh my God, we had sex. That means something. No, it means we had sex. That's it.
You know what's funny though is in my dating experiences, men have acted more like that than I have, which makes me like, are you a bitch? It kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like literally, I
You let me have
do
some.
my thing. I do my thing. Whatever. Okay, cool. Next day, text blowing me up. Are you already shaking me? Are we gonna kick it? I'm like, whoa, man, I got stuff to do, man.
Whitney, you got that fire, huh? You got that fugu.
Don't trip. Don't play yourself, player.
Anyway, listen, we're at the end.
Here's what I would say.
Veronica, we're at the end of the show. I'm gonna let you get your 35 seconds off first. We're gonna wrap it up because we only got 2 minutes to do it. So, wrap us up.
Yeah. So, when it comes to relating, I think that if you're committed, I feel like Andrew's actually more committed to his situation than he is to his pain. So that's cool. Like, if you're a good man, then be a good man and tolerate the situation that you're in, but then shut up about it.
Don't complain. Wow.
Because that's what it is. And that's cool. Because that's cool. You can be a good man. You can be a good woman. You can stay stuck in whatever scenario that gives you pain. And then that is yours to own.
Wow. That's heavy. Whitney, 35 seconds.
Kind of piggybacking off of what Veronica said, realistically, like everybody has somewhat some control of what their situation is looking like. And it's kind of simple. If you don't like something, get out of it. Don't let a book or a Bible or your preacher or your mom or your dad dictate your happiness. If being with this woman makes you happy but you're still miserable, I guess do you, boo-boo. But if you really want to, you're the only person that can create your own happiness. So at the end of the day, do what you got to do. Don't let nobody ruin your life.
Hey, man.
Have sex on the first date. Forget it.
Let me just say, I love this show. I love what we do. And listen back to this show and see what came out of it in terms of, the relationship Swiss Army knife, how many tools were laid out. This is an ongoing process. We may revisit it sometime soon. Welcome to Monday, the beginning of the week. We'll be back Wednesday with another installment of The Voice of Reason. Hey, man, great show, great topic, great conversation. I will check with you guys Wednesday. I got love. Follow me on IamZoWilliams.com and buy a copy of The Relationship Dismount, my latest book. I'll holler at you guys Wednesday. Deuces.
Peace.